right, let's just switch it on over. Let me get you there too. Boom. All right, Guy, I'm coming your way.
WPPM LP Philadelphia.
It's really good.
Not much, man. Another good day.
It is hot, man. For real.
Yeah, and it's
He's
gonna
like,
get.
he's
A lot
like,
of energy in here.
It's the Career
Alex, how
Show
do you pronounce your
live on
last name?
WPVN
Archawski.
106.5 Philadelphia. I'm your host of the world's #1 diversity recruiter, Kenneth L. Johnson, and I've been waiting a long time to bring you the Career Seekers team. Tiffany Southerland, career coach.
Your mic
Alberta
will be dead
Bertolino,
for
recruitment
the
coach.
first part.
Video
And then
on
I'll
for
turn
Will
it over.
Martin.
Sounds good.
Together, we are your #1 source for career and job search information. We'll be back after the break.
The Career Seekers Show on WPPM FM Philadelphia. Insightful advice for those seeking more than just a job, but a career from the nation's top diversity recruiter, Kenneth L. Johnson. Whether you're starting your career, changing careers, or looking for that next great opportunity, the Career
It's the Career Seeker Show live on WPPM LP Philadelphia. It's your man Kenneth L. Johnson sitting here today. Tiffany Southerland,
Hello, hello.
Will Martin.
hey,
Will, what's good?
what's good, Gold?
You got it, man. We're going to do it again for another day. It's going to be a great day today. We have Alex Archawski from the Greater Philadelphia Veterans Network in the building today. We also have,
Tiffany Southerland, Tiff South across all social media platforms.
and at 4:30 we will have,
Alicia Kinchlow, a lawyer, entrepreneur extraordinaire.
yes, love it, love it. I love when we have two guests. It allows us to, it actually allows me to be lazy. So I don't really have to do the first part of the
Lazy
show.
is never a word
Yeah.
I would use to describe you. Ken.
So, well, you know, speaking of which, that's great because I'm coming from my class, my Connect to Work class. I'm coming straight here. So it's always a hectic trip from North Philly down to the studios, the beautiful studios at Philly Cam here at WPPM. Like I said before, we sit basically on the steps of Independence Hall on the Liberty Bell. You can't have a better location. This is unbelievable.
It is. We're
Really,
just talking
really
about,
great.
There's also a beer garden close by here. But,
There is. Yeah, right behind us, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but now it's a little chilly outside. You know, we just have to start with the weather report.
Please do. Yes, please bless us with the weather.
It is cold. It is cold. I wore a jacket that was way too thin this morning, and I was very, very surprised at how cold it was when I left my house. But it's beautiful nonetheless.
You leave the house at like 5 in the morning, so.
Well, today I didn't. I did
Okay.
not go to the gym today. Sorry to disappoint everyone, but I didn't go.
So did you not go to the gym? Because I know you had some really, really exciting stuff going on last night.
I did a Facebook Live. I'm starting the first of a series of every Tuesday. I'm going live on Facebook and Instagram to talk about something personal or career development related. And so last night was the first of the series, and I talked about kind of the impact, the importance of making decisions and kind of ways to weigh major decisions that you're making in your life. And it was good. I was
incredible.
inspired.
That was incredible.
Thank you.
So AB is not with us today. I know she is.
She's on the West Coast,
Yeah,
isn't
she's
she?
on the West Coast, I believe,
She's
right?
making moves. She's making moves.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not at
Get
all.
the money. Get the money.
Yes.
So I'm really excited, Tiff, because tonight, I've waited for this for a couple months now, but on CNBC, the job interview airs tonight at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm extremely excited about this show. It's rare that as recruiters and talent acquisition professionals that we get a chance to watch a show that kind of represents us.
Yes, that is very true.
Yeah, it's really rare. That's something really rare. So it may be probably one of the first times ever that they focused the show on an actual job interview. I think that's a really interesting concept.
Yeah, I've not seen that before either.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Actually, they were set up last week, I believe, in Rockefeller Center, outside of Rock Center, and they had a glass, basically studio, where they were conducting actual interviews.
So
at
people
Rock
can
Center.
look in. Oh, that's
people
terrible.
come in and apply. But
People are
man,
too nervous about
you
interviews.
gotta
Why
love
would they
it
do
though.
that?
They would do it because somebody actually got a job from the experience. Yeah, so how incredible is that?
There you go. You can't lose that way, I guess.
I love it. I love it. That's a great thing. That's a great thing. So what else is going on in your world? Anything?
I'm just working on the launch of my How She Elevates program, and if you're interested in learning more about that, you can go to fourcornerscoach.com, and that's FOUR. And just looking to continue to try and help people be better in their careers and their personal lives.
That's really what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
That's all we're here to do. I always say, if you just keep that big picture in mind, then everything else just kind of comes your way. It's a matter of like the wavelengths. So check this out. I was in my class today, and I was explaining to them how fortunate they are to have you come out next week. And then, thankfully, we're going to have Pamela James. Pam is, I want to say, membership manager or something like that at the Croc Center on Wissahickon Avenue.
Okay.
She's a former Connect to Work graduate. So she's going to come out. I'm going to have you guys judge what we're going to call the micro pitch competition.
Okay.
But I'm interested, and I'm bringing this up today because our guest that's coming on the show in minutes, he just walked into the studio. He is part of the Greater Philadelphia Veterans Network, and they do a Shark Tank type themed event. Yeah, so I really want to hear about that. I really want to hear a lot about that. So with that being said, Tiff, I'm really excited today.
I am.
It's one of those days. It's one of those days.
It's gonna be a good one.
All right, what I would like to do, Tiff, we're going to take let's take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll come back with Alex Archawski of the GPVN Greater Philadelphia Veterans Network. It's the Career Seekers Show live, WPPM LP Philadelphia. Let's go. All right. So, Alex, what I wanted to do is I'm going to introduce you, and you can kind of give your bio and tell us who you are. And Tiff, I guess we'll sit back, speak about some veterans things that you guys have going on, I guess, right now. And we'll see where it goes.
I love the energy. I'm going to bring it. It's good stuff. I'm going to tag into a little bit what you said about making people feel uncomfortable while interviewing.
Oh, we do.
So we're aligned.
Okay.
So you are a sales coach?
I'm a sales trainer, sales coach, and
I need some of that in my life.
So now you're a veteran. Correct?
I'll give the bio real quick on there, nice and tight, but kind of give a personal impact of why I created the organization. Difference between nonprofit and what we do, which is a nonprofit, which is accountability more than hugs and kisses, which is really traditional nonprofit. And so career services for nonprofits are too soft, and I'll talk to you about how veterans respond to career advice.
Archawski.
Whichever you want. I've gotten it slaughtered a million different ways.
How do you pronounce it?
It's that.
I'm sorry, that is okay.
It can be Arkawicki, Archawski, whatever telemarketer calls me.
All right, we're going back in already.
Yep.
We're back. It's the Career Seekers Show live on WPPM LP Philadelphia. Again, you can hit us up on our social media feeds. You can hit us at US Career Seekers on Twitter. You can hit her at Tiff South on Twitter. She's not here today, but she's still here in spirit. And you can hit Alberta Recruits up at Alberta Recruits. That's Alberta Bertolino. And myself at KL Johnson Info, all on Twitter. And know what? Hold our video man down. Hit up at Gee Gamer. This is what we do. It's the Career
Let's get
Seekers
him
Show.
tweeting.
Let's
Let's
get
see
him
if we
popping.
can do
Yeah,
that.
let's get him doing
Let's see if
something,
we can
right?
do that.
All right, Tiff, again, I'm really excited. We have Alex Archawski in the building. He is with the Greater Philadelphia Veterans Network. Our tools, our mission. That's what they say. And he is a veteran. So with that being said, I want to introduce the Career Seeker listeners to Alex Archawski and say thank you for your service, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the show. First and foremost, I got to say, you guys think it's chilly outside, but for veterans, this is the warmest season for them. We got
Yes,
Veterans
indeed.
Day coming up. We got our Shark Tank coming up.
Yes.
We got Army Navy coming up.
Okay.
Went into the service to finish my degree. Just went in there, and I was enlisted with a degree when I got out. I was fortunate enough to go through a program as a rescue swimmer with the Navy. So I got out, came back to Philly, but as you can imagine, when you talk about a career objective, I definitely wasn't going to swim in the Schuylkill or the Delaware River.
Well, you know, Philly's a Navy town, though. So that makes sense.
It is. It is. And you're a couple blocks away from the Marine Corps founding too,
exactly.
at Tons Tavern.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah, Tons Tavern. We are going to celebrate the Marines on Friday by doing a live remote at Cookie's Tavern at 10th and Oregon. They kind of took over, I guess, where Tons have left.
You know what? I'll send all the recruiters down there.
Yeah,
to go hire the best.
Yeah, we got them. So tell me a little bit about the Greater Philadelphia Veterans Network.
Absolutely. So the first time transitioning, as I told you, back to Philly when I was living in Japan for 3.5 years, right before 9/11, and I stayed as a reservist, went through the transition as everybody else. And then when I was a reservist, I was down in Annapolis. I got recalled back to active duty after 9/11. 2 months after 9/11, they needed our unit. My employer let me go unethically, a little bit malicious, but it was legal. So I packed all my stuff from storage from my apartment, everything. I proposed to my wife, went to serve in the Middle East for almost a year, came back, had to look for a job again. Really understood the challenges myself and others about what is a career objective, what is job searching, where are the veterans. Really, my background has been in sales, so I kind of knew where I wanted to go.
Okay.
But nobody really taught you the art of how to job search effectively. They basically told you how to interview and how to do things. And we can go into that in a little bit detail. So put my head down, created an organization which was really different from everybody else. So if you think about career advice for the nonprofits, it's a lot of counseling and hugs. But for the way the veterans and the way that we've been trained, it's a little bit of accountability and a kick in the rear.
So that's where GPVN comes in.
That's where it's our tools, your mission. So
Okay.
what I did is I formed the largest network of veterans in various industries. So we did programs called Take a Vet to Work. So you can shadow different programs, shadow different jobs, because they don't know what they don't know. And the majority of them were applying for jobs, not applying for careers. So what we did was we flipped it on its head, a kind of Six Sigma background of saying they were just applying to jobs that human resources were telling us, do they want our job or do they want a job? So we decided we're going to create the organization to really focus on helping veterans not translate, because if the mechanic sometimes might get their degree, there's 800 student veterans now, first generation at Temple, Drexel, wherever they are. They want to be accountants, not for mechanics. And what we did is let's help them focus, create the network for them, teach them how to job search. I'll give you a little bit of tidbit. Is in the military, you're basically told how to create, what to do, your orders. Wake up, eat chow, go to the helicopter, go to the firing range, eat chow again, and go to bed.
Gotcha.
Right? Next day, same, cut and paste, a little bit. So what happens when you get out of the military, your DNA is a little bit waiting for orders. We really had to figure out how to teach people how to give their own orders. Even civilian population have difficulties with that. They'll do the activities, but they don't have the outcomes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have to create the outcomes of, I did the job fair, but I said, but what were your orders for the job fair?
Oh, gotcha.
You're doing the job fair for your activity. You're doing the network. What's your activity?
So just be a little more strategic.
Strategic but structured,
Sure.
of understanding how they create their own orders. Resumes, interview, they're really secondary. What's the landscape look like? Small to medium-sized companies. A lot of veterans logo shop, right? Logo shop means look at all the beautiful logos around there. 80% of our economy is small to medium-sized companies. How do you infiltrate the area you don't know? It's a little intel. So we create that methodology. A lot goes behind it. We got supporters of our employers in the community. And what we did is the overall mission is to really bridge the gap, as employers only hire entry level and really hourly. And we're telling them to hire mid-managers, senior, people that have done 20 years, really, I mean, very professional and the skills they give. Some of these companies are risk adverse.
Okay.
So what they do is because of their background, but we're teaching them, we do roundtables for employers and only the ones that want to learn. So we have a process called learn, engage, and hire.
Gotcha.
We don't care what you hire, as long as you learn and engage.
You know, what I found to be really interesting as I've worked with some veterans, I did an event at the Union League that was supporting veterans. And I thought it was interesting because they came and they were speaking of their MOS. And it was like, all right, how do we explain that in the terms that someone like myself even would understand? And that was the thing, like, okay, I understand this is what it was called, but now what's it look like on this side? because I think when people cannot kind of understand and you can pitch that story behind it on where the skills are transferable, you'll be much more successful in moving on in that process. And that was the challenge. Like, okay, this is what it is, but how are the skills transferable to what it is that you're looking to do for us?
Oh yeah, it's basically like this. I said, hey, how are you? And they're like, name, rank, serial number. That was a horrible interview.
Right.
Let me get my UN translator here.
Really.
So why we do what we do is we prevent veterans from ever communicating that way. Again,
And
it's
like
not
you
our
said,
mission. It's not our mission.
Okay, gotcha.
Self-identifying is key. It's key to learning. Some immediately, they don't want to make a mistake, so they do it early. Some say, you know what? I know what I'm doing. So we relate it a lot to what we teach. I teach 500 people, VA, student veterans. And what we do is we say, listen, in the military, if you're going to fire down range, who is there to help you adjust your scope? If not, do you think you hit the bullseye every time?
It's interesting. You use the
analogy.
the terminology.
I'm just like, oh my gosh.
But you use it to take people out of it. Like, that's not what you want them to convey on the other end, but you understand that you need to communicate in that way
to them,
to get them to understand. Right, exactly.
And then what we do with the employers is, believe it or not, we tell them to get out of the way. And they're like, wait, I'm the HR, CHRO. And I was like, do you want to have to hire veterans all by yourself? We teach them how to do it with vets in their own team. We teach them how to get the veterans in the interview to interview the other veterans.
Right.
If they want to be successful, that's what we say, our tool is your mission. If they need to meet their numbers, they got to learn, they can't put the burden on themselves. And, you think about it, right? Everything that you guys do is about diversity recruiting. So let's go across the board. Minority, disabled, veteran, LGBT, you name it. So if HR says, I'll do it all, we're like, you won't do it.
Yeah.
Because you got either assigned, so in reality, they should assign every affinity group with a representative. Our silos, veterans, where we're saying assign a veterans to really focus. Don't go on campus, send a veteran on campus.
Sure. Gotcha.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So do you have any events coming? Have you guys talked about Shark Tank? You do a similar, well, it's not called Shark Tank.
Yeah, it is.
It's a television show. So tell us about how does that work for within your organization, and what's the goal and the outcome for your participants?
Absolutely. So to tie into the overall mission is we are making Philly the best destination for vets. So think about it. It is about employment, leadership, and then entrepreneurship. Think of the life cycle of all your friends. Some of them didn't start a business right out of college. Some of them took a little while to create their business. So we want to be there along the way. And we said, in order to do our big event, we're not going to do a gala. Galas are galas. It's not for everybody. So how do we inspire our business population to showcase the success of veterans, which inspires to hire more? So our Shark Tank really is, if you think about the military, there's enlisted and officer. So we said our Shark Tank is not going to be about scalability. It's going to be whoever has the best pitch. So we had a firefighter that was an Army guy that created a strobe light to save his firefighters.
Okay.
It's a show. It's a really show, but whoever has the best pitch gets the money.
Sure.
Now, all the investors are sitting around. We're not involved with that, but we can make the introductions. But we want to give them the tools for their success.
Yeah.
And then we help with the veteran-owned businesses by bringing in supplier diversity to do business with veteran-owned companies. So we want to make sure we create them and make them thrive. But we're finding a lot of noise. We're finding a lot of noise on the radio about the veterans that do need help, but sometimes human resources looks at it saying, oh, you know what, I got to be careful hiring veterans because of everything they hear in the news about veterans with PTSD, PTS.
Wow.
So we're fighting the news. If you remember years ago, there was shark attacks in Florida. And everyone's like, I'm not going to Florida.
Yeah.
But it was only one beach.
Yeah.
So we fight that kind of news every day. It's on the radio. So
I never even thought about that being a real issue. That is a real issue because how do you combat
the news
that?
Is dangerous.
Yeah, the news is dangerous.
Awareness is key. Addressing it is.
But we are
important.
people-powered media here, so with that being said, we're not the dangerous variety.
Once a year, or is it just once a year as a major?
Once a year, to create this region as the best in the region, you got to go out of your comfort zone. So we are stretching ourselves to areas we don't know. We have Comcast as our presenting sponsor, which we're really honored to have. We have Robert Irvine who was a Royal Navy cook who now has his own cooking show. He's going to be our keynote speaker about how to become a veteran and an entrepreneur.
Sure.
And we're right now filtering our last 5 candidates for our show. It is Monday, December 4th at the Union League.
Okay.
It's www.veteransharktank.com.
Love it.
Okay.
We will be sold out. There's no doubt about it, which we are every year. But for us, it's really to inspire new veteran entrepreneurs, help them, and then the audience of wow, they're killing it. We gotta make sure we hire more of them.
So pretty much every day is Veterans Day, but we are on the eve of the official, not the eve, but we're getting close to the eve. We're on the eve, I guess, of the observed Veterans Holiday. What do you guys have going on that may be of interest to some of our veteran listeners, or just general career seeker listeners, and I guess in general?
Absolutely. So Veterans Day for us is pretty much our day off. Because like you said, right? You said every day my wife said, is that one day you can tell? I was like, absolutely. I'm just going to enjoy the free meal that they offer us. And that's very nice. By the way, for all you businesses out there that do these sort of things, we thank you very much for offering some minor things.
No, you bring something to my attention. So last year on Veterans Day, I was in Pittsburgh, and my brother is a Marine. He's a veteran. He's a Marine.
Oh, I have a question for you.
So we went to an establishment. We went to Permati Brothers.
Okay,
and they were giving out free sandwiches for the veterans. So that was the first time he's ever treated me to eat, but it was. But we enjoyed it nonetheless.
Can you explain to him what the Pomani is?
Have you ever been to Pittsburgh?
Okay, I'm gonna guess. Okay, it has to do with something with the fries and the sandwich.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember something that wasn't normal but tasted good.
It was very good.
So here, I got a question for you.
Yes.
And typically I would have something with me to give away, but why this is true? Why do you think the Marines are the best at job searching? Your brother would be proud of you if you answered this.
Okay. Let me give this some thought. Yeah.
Anybody willing to get any answers?
You know, I think the motto was something about excellence. Am I right?
It's a trait, but it doesn't mean what makes them so successful.
So I just would think if you choose a career as a Marine, I think you're a different person in itself. And I'm sorry for anybody that's not a Marine, but my brother's a little off. No, Reese, do not take that in any way. But no, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Any other guesses of?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't get it wrong.
So why the Marine? This is important because when we do training for a lot of the service members, it's really reflective of sometimes their DNA of what they went through in the service. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Air Force is, risk adverse because of no flying areas. The Army is called limiting risk. Why would I network there? Who's going to be? A lot of questions before the activity, right? The Navy looks at it, wait, is that a good time? I'm there, right?
Okay.
A little bit more jolly.
Mm-hmm.
And the Marines, why they're the best? So I tell you, when there's, let's say they have to storm the beach, right? Who was first to storm the beach? Typically the Marines, right?
Yeah.
What happens when you storm the beach?
Get sand
I
everywhere.
never heard that one, but that was good.
There's probably some casualties.
That was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you either conquer or you die. There's two things that can happen. They don't want to be second. They want to be the story. They don't want to be the people behind it and all that. They know, but they know the activities that they need to have. So what makes the Marines is they remove the emotions behind the process.
Gotcha.
So what they do, if you job search, if they understand there's going to be tons of rejection, no callbacks, they don't
keep going.
care.
Yeah.
They don't care. That's what makes them rock stars. If you think about the DNA of the job search, it's all emotions. It's all emotions. And if you are locked in early, and you know the landscape of the war landscape or anything like that, that's what we teach those that are, it's not taught on base. We say, okay, resumes, interview, and that's secondary. You got to understand how to go into battle for your job search. 20-foot seas, sharks in the water, they don't care. They got to get on that beach.
Civilians need this mindset. I'm like all the way dialed in here.
Well, it's interesting, I think, to Alex's point, the civilians that can at least get to that level somewhat to that level, maybe not to the point of
They're
a Marine,
they're
but the
trained.
ones that can get themselves mentally to that level are the ones that are going to be more successful.
They just keep going.
Yeah, they just keep going.
Absolutely.
You know, what you laid out earlier, I was thinking about this thing. I call it the ECE matrix. And basically what I did, I took my sales approach at East Coast Executives, and basically where I do business development, I just tell all of my people, my career coaching clients, you're a business of one, and you're going after these companies as clients. And it's the same process that I use to sell. And I know your background is sales, and that I was listening to you, I'm like, he's basically taking a sales process and kind of put that in the heads of these veterans.
Two like-minded individuals
Yes,
right there.
exactly, yeah.
My last LinkedIn post are why the Marines are the best at sales.
There you go. Yeah,
And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. In sales, it's a yes or a no.
Yeah.
But if you are okay with the outcome, it's what we have a book called The Outcome, you're good.
Yeah.
It's collecting decisions is the name of the game.
Wow.
So what happens is if people have the mindset, and anybody can really do it, it just takes practice. So imagine if you go to the gym and you look at a piece of equipment and you're like, I don't know what that is, but is it important for me?
Yeah.
Right? So that's job search.
Right.
So people do the activities, but then then that's what we tell transitioning veterans. Also, we serve veterans in transition, underserved veterans, which means maybe are homeless. We're not just the 9/11 veterans.
Gotcha.
So for that demographic, what we do is confidence is first. Can't teach them if they've went through life experience.
Yeah.
So one of the things we learned is we hire them to do our pancake breakfast. So what we do is we assign them responsibilities. And we say, you're the cook, you'll do the catcher, you'll do the greeting, and then you guys flip it around. If you need support, we'll have it there. But we're going to pay you and put a line item on your resume. So what happens is we partner with a veteran service organization that helps the homeless vets. And then for the day, they're doing the activity. So all the people come to attend, and do they know where the homeless are?
No.
They said this is the first time that nobody looks at them homeless.
Wow.
So if you think about that, that's impact for them to feel confidence of their activities. So we're trying to flip that model of how do you help the homeless? Don't go there with the company shirts and offer them meals. It's they know
Empower
you're
them.
coming.
Yeah.
So you got to bring them to an environment to say, "Are you okay?" And of course, that we knew they were okay. We knew because they were trained that way. What do I need to do? Assign me the responsibilities. I have self-worth.
Yeah.
And then what happens is from there, we're like, okay, who wants more and who doesn't?
Right. I got you.
So we always say we can only help those that want to be helped, right? So two things can happen. One is if people are uncoachable and untrainable, it doesn't matter. We do have a form that a little bit to identify that. So perfect example, young veteran, top student at one of the local universities. And it's a minor thing, but from your background, if you don't see a headshot in LinkedIn, you're just wondering why not? It just comes out of just the final pieces.
Just why be on the platform?
What you're just doing your checklist, right? Just okay that everything's in order. So just out of curiosity, we ask, can I ask you what did you take a LinkedIn class in college? I know the career services. He goes, yeah, we did. As all of us. So can I ask you where your picture is? He's like, I just didn't think it was important. So that means for me is saying before we help you, how are you learning right now? And if they have to self-identify. If not, we're training to head trash.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And not bad way.
Right.
But that means they're going to run into the wall for anything that we say.
Right.
Gotcha.
And if millions of people who are using a platform have a headshot and you articulate that, not that I couldn't get a good one, but I don't think it's important. That says a lot. That's all you need.
And if you do the research,
Exactly.
you won't come up in the searches if you don't have a headshot because your profile won't be 100% complete. So it kind of reduces your opportunities to be seen even on LinkedIn as well.
So just so we're fighting a lot of things that are, there's a checklist typically of a transition, which is structure, which we talk about, being a Marine, of kind of saying, I hate to use this term, so I know this is PG on here, but nobody in the military told them they sucked. Okay. Right? So their self-worth is like, my medals, my rank.
Yeah.
But if you don't get a call back and you don't get then you're like, whoa, that's
new information.
That's okay. Go through the motions. Be a Marine.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So they have to learn that. The other part is, trust in environment of where they were. where they trusted their battle buddies, but they haven't had a new network yet. So they're a little hesitant on info because they received some pretty. Let's put it this way: we received hard info at a young age, canceled port visits, canceled leave to visit family, and we're young. So all we are is we're professionally disappointed.
Right.
You know, so we're trying to unhardwire, like, what's the bad news coming,
Man,
right? But a lot of them don't think that way. But you can see it by the way they learn, and they say, well, how do I know it's going to be successful if I do it?
Yeah.
With that, you know, so getting them to trust early, to say some things will work, some things won't, in the world that you're in. But you gotta immediately hardwire yourself as a new area, embrace the civilian market. Understand it may take time for one or not early adopters, late adopters. It's in our DNA. Sure. But they cannot resort back to what they were with all the skills that they learned. Traditionally, all of them kill it. All of them kill it.
You guys are doing some great work. Alex, let our listeners know how to get in contact with you and the GPVN.
Absolutely. So everything can be found at our site. It is www.gpvn.org. We are going through a second version of our website, which will have all our info. You can Google us. You'll see all the events. If you have a family member, you know anybody, you know employers, have them contact us. We'll see how we can help. One of our proudest programs that we do is the majority of our veterans are student veterans. They are all in college because the GI Bill now is all free. Like 10, 15 years ago, it was not.
Okay.
So we have 800 student veterans at Temple, 800 at Drexel, Rutgers University, Camden. They're all over the place, Westchester. So we do a program called Speed Interviewing and Networking for Student Veterans. So all the employers we partner with sit in a U-shaped table, and we put the veterans in front of them, and they have 3 minutes, the veterans, to pitch themselves. And the employer doesn't have a table thrower or name tag. But we have to provide an area where the veterans know how to pitch themselves. So if you think about learning, we do experiential learning. Why go to the classroom if we'll just take you straight to the battlefield?
Yeah.
So getting them to learn from that environment is better than teaching in the classroom.
Teaching in the classroom.
Outstanding.
Right.
Outstanding. Well, look, we really appreciated having you today. Thank you so very much for all that you do in support of veterans here in the greater Philadelphia region, and I would imagine beyond. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I look forward to future conversations with you. And if by any chance we can help support any of your efforts, the Career Seeker team is with you. You're a friend of Alberta's. There's a gentleman named Calvin Purnell that checked in with me on LinkedIn that said he had met you. So we're just happy that you chose to come out here and spend some time with us today. Thank you so very much.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for all you do for our veterans and giving the Cooking Tavern.
We appreciate it. This is Career Seeker Show live on WPPMLP. We'll be back after the break. Tiff, who we got?
Alicia Kinslow.
Let's do it. Man, listen.
Thanks,
Outstanding, man. You know what? We probably should have did a whole hour. I wish we could have done
That's okay. You know what? You got your show, and
Great
I'm a
work you're doing.
let me come around and say, look, man, I appreciate your service, man.
we'll set up a lunch or breakfast.
Yes, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. Yeah, I think there's some synergy. I think we can do some things
Definitely. I'll give you my contact info. I'll give you a little bit of
Also, if you get a chance, I know we were